Oh yeah, hello friends. Welcome back to the podcast. This is the JRPG Report, episode 182. My name is James Fisher, and we've got a great podcast for you guys today as we are getting all kinds of psyched up and mentally, physically, emotionally prepared for Tales of Arise. This is September the 9th, 2021, so all of our friends in Japan are playing it right now. We get our hands on it. The unwashed general public get it tomorrow. Lots of reviews have popped up about all the insiders who have got their copies already. Reviews are out. We'll talk a little bit about what our friends over at Siliconia think about the game. We'll do that at the end of the podcast. I am greatly looking forward to going and picking up my copy tomorrow. Fans of the podcast who have been around for a while. I'm talking to the OG, long-time listeners. You guys maybe have heard me talk about 1 week of my personal life that is busier than all the rest, maybe combined. Well, that is this week, and I'm not thrilled that it happened to land on the same release week as Tales of Arise, but what are you going to do? I can't really complain. Long days, busy nights, all kinds of stuff. So we're going to have a kind of a shorter podcast. It worked out in terms of not a ton of stuff going on of it, other than the big release of the week. So let's get into the news of this week, and our buddy Dalton was all kinds of hyped up to hear that Neptunia x Senran Kagura Ninja Wars will launch both physically and digitally for PlayStation 4 on October 26th in North America and October 29th in Europe. Publisher Idea Factory International announced. I believe that's way sooner than most people would have guessed, considering this action RPG is actually not even due out to the 16th of September in Japan. As we've kind of talked before, anytime there's not like an official English dub for it, which I didn't actually see if that's true or not, but I'm pretty sure that's what the deal is. This is just going to have English subtitles. There's not going to be actual English dub or not. Usually those games can turn around very quickly, and like this one, just was that 6 weeks or so afterwards. They did talk about a limited edition that is now available at Idea Factory International's online store. If you are on our social media channels, you will see that article and has the link to it. The limited edition is going for $99.99. You will get a copy of the game with reversible cover, really nifty collector's box, an Art of Ninjutsu hardcover art book, a wall scroll. This one looks kind of like old Chinese, Japanese type looking scroll. It's very cool. You'd have to see the picture to really know what I'm talking about. A steel bookcase, of course, official soundtrack, and exclusive trading card. Here are some of the key features about this game. When two become one, two warring nations from the Neptunia and Senran Kagura series have joined forces in one action-packed RPG. Choose from 10 possible characters, including 2 new characters, Yuki and Go, and pick 2 characters to set forth on your adventure. Swiftly switch between the 2 chosen characters in battle. That's pretty cool. They talk about the art of the ninja. Each character possesses a unique set of skills known as ninja art skills. Chain your ninja art skills to leave your enemies in the dust. Ninjas and shinobi are also equipped with projectiles that can inflict physical damage or temporary status ailments to slow down your foes. They say stay styling with spirit gems. Collect spirit gems for helpful stat boosts. Legend says arranging them in a certain combination can add even bigger boosts. And they ask, are you a true ninja warrior? The Peaches and Cream meditation minigame allows players to test their balance with the PlayStation 4 motion controller. Successfully filling the Peach gauge gives extra stat boosts in battle. Plus, test your might with the post-game content Yomi training. Expert ninjas and shinobi can play through 8 different trials, each with different restrictions. There also was the first set of English language screenshots, so you could actually see some of the names of the characters and names of the enemies. What is it? One of my favorite enemy names of all time was on here. Oh my gosh, I gotta find it. Of course, there's the little poofy slime-looking things. The Dogus, I believe that's how you're supposed to say it. The Legion Senior Soldiers. Those are always fun. The kind of weird looking thing. Where is it? I'm looking through the screenshots right now. Oh, there it is. There it is. No, it's not. Ghost Watermelon. No, that's not it. Oh, I should have probably checked this out earlier and not doing this on the fly. But yeah, you can see some of the quests that are going on that you need to do. But yeah, just add some English to the screenshots is always a good thing. Yeah, if you're looking forward to this one, you don't have to wait too much longer. It's coming very soon to PlayStation 4. I thought there might be. There it is. There's the Creepy Watermelon. That's one of the greatest enemy names of all time. So there you go. It's coming. It's coming a lot sooner than we had originally thought. There also was a big announcement right after the last podcast. We were kind of speculating on what the Prinny Presents NIS Classics Volume 2 was going to be. A kind of placeholder website popped up and said, like coming soon in 6 days with an announcement, because part 1's out. So what's going to be in part 2? Well, we know that now. NIS America has announced Printing Presents NIS Classics Volume 2 for Switch and PC via Steam will include these 2 games, Makai Kingdom Reclaimed and Rebound, and ZHP Unlosing Ranger vs. Dark Death Evil Man. They will launch in spring of 2022 with English and Japanese audio and English text. Of course, there is a special edition available right now at the NIS America online store for $99.99. Let's see, here are the 2 games they are talking about. Makai Kingdom Reclaimed and Rebound centers around Lord Zeta, a master of tactical warfare in his pursuit to invade, and reclaim the Netherworld. As a book. Using cunning strategies, ultra-powerful magic, and a vast range of crazy deadly weapons, Lord Zeta aims to take control of the enemy's lands. Using a feature unique to this battle system, you can summon your army via the invite system to do your bidding on the battlefield and dominate your foes. The other game in this series, they say, when your thirst for new lands is quenched, ZHP, Unlosing Ranger vs. Dark Death Evil Man, will have you coming back for more with your ultimate character customization system, allowing you to make your character your own from your toes to the nose. Dude, of course. Custom made to kick enemies to the curb, your character will also establish a base and work their way through a myriad of maps, each randomly generated and all part of your own unique story. 2 action-packed RPG classics are making their first explosive entrances since their decade-plus ago debut. They say, yep, there you go. So there also was the announcement trailer kind of showing you what these games were. I've never heard of the ZHP one, I'll be honest. Don't recall seeing that. I do recall seeing Makai Kingdom. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. Way back in the day for the PS2. So if you are a fan of both of these games or one of them and want to play them again, relive some of your glory days, you can do that as they are both coming. All they're saying is spring of 2022, so not too much longer. If you'd like to check out that trailer, you can do so on our YouTube channel. I forgot to mention with the Ninja Wars game, those screenshots that were in English, I do have a slideshow video up on YouTube as well if you'd like to see what all those are entailing. Speaking of Nippon Ichi, our next story concerns the Disgaea franchise. We recently got Part 6, and we also crossed a threshold of 5 million sales in the Disgaea series. Over the years, there was a special message from Nippon Ichi's software president, Sohei Nakawa, wearing his preeny hat, which is just sweet. I think every time I've seen him, he's always wearing at least the hat, maybe even the suit, just going all out for his beloved Disgaea series, which has made him a decent pile of change. A message, if you're watching this on our YouTube video version of the podcast, you are seeing that video right now, but he's obviously just thanking people for their support of it. He also, and really no surprise here, he confirmed this series will continue. Thank you, Mr. President. But he said it's too early to announce details just yet. I'd imagine those are coming. This series seems to be locked in on the Switch, so I would, if I had to guess, maybe they're kind of like, well, maybe let's see what the Switch is doing, and then we'll see what we are kind of doing. Obviously, it is, at least in Japan, it's still on PlayStation systems, so he's maybe thinking, let's see what we can do with some new hardware in this PS5 and possibly new Switch. There was also a special website that was launched, and this thing is sweet. It's got a character poll, so you can kind of decide which is the best Disgaea character of all time. There's a retweet contest for you Twitters out there, merchandise sale, and a Steam sale going on. And this is, if you don't already own these titles and you've been waiting for a sale and you are a Steam player, I believe now is the time to do it. Part 1, $3. Part 2, $4. Part 4 complete is down to $20, and Part 5 complete is down to $12. That is a hefty discount, and quite a way to celebrate a important milestone. I said 5 million. They actually said it's Disgaea's 4,999,999 plus one sales celebration. So they always got to kind of keep things interesting there. Way to go, fellas over at Nippon Ichi. So I thought that was a pretty cool story. Quickly piggybacking off of the news, what did we talk about? Moon coming to Switch? Was that, or Steam? I forget which one it was that we talked about last time. The story this week is that it is coming to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, according to a newly published PlayStation Store listing. A release date was not announced. This game first came out back in 1997, followed by Switch in October 2019 in Japan and August 2020 in the West. Oh yeah, so it's also coming to PC via Steam. There was an announcement trailer that it was coming to PS4 and PS5, and I just thought this was interesting as kind of a video nerd. Obviously when I repost things on there, I want to repost it in full HD at 1080. It was not even possible. The highest resolution the video went to was 720 because, this game came out in 97. It's really cool when you go back and look at YouTube videos. A lot of times the resolution is quite low on some of these older ones. So I was actually kind of happy that was even in 720. The game, obviously, those early titles, they had their own unique look, and they don't look too bad. This is an interesting story, and we still don't have confirmation of this just yet. We talked a while ago about the game Magnum Lord. This is out in Japan right now. It actually came out back in March. No word whatsoever on this thing's coming west or not. And maybe this is the first inkling of it, as the game has been rated in Germany. They're publishing via P-Cube. So maybe that means it's coming. Obviously, once it goes anywhere outside of Japan, that usually means that it's coming to Europe and then into North America as well. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. I just thought that was a interesting little tidbit. It's not been officially announced, but it kind of seems like one of those deals, like, I don't know why you would really do that unless it was actually coming out. A new trailer was released for Shin Megami Tensei 5, the Nobino trailer they're calling it, and they say it's a blasphemous being, neither human nor demon. If you're curious about that one, you can check it out over on our YouTube channel. It's a pretty cool looking trailer. Senran Kagura Tensei 5 is due out for the Switch on November 11th in Japan, November 12th worldwide. We've got some mobile JRPG news to talk about. Here's we come back from the break. Do you hate ads? I hate ads. You hate ads. Let's have no more ads. Well, luckily, you don't have to worry about that on this podcast. We will never have any ads. But time is money, and money is pizza. So we got to pay the piper somehow. In lieu of me not playing annoying ads that products that you're not going to buy anyway, and they don't want to give me money, so why don't you just give me some money? You can support this podcast either through the Anchor app itself. There are links below, or go through Patreon. That's a good way of doing it. There's all kinds of different levels you can sign up for. You can be a noob or a RPG god, whatever you want to do. I forget the levels that I made up, but you can figure all that out on Patreon and support this podcast that you love so much and listen to each and every week. And I do such a great job, and you would love to really support the podcast. I know you would. So, if you don't want to do those methods, you're like, hey, I got a bonus at work. Let's pass it on to James. Let's do that. You can do that directly through PayPal. We take those donations as well. James Fisher Productions at gmail.com. All those links are down below. Keep the JRPG report ad-free. On to the news. Again, like I said, we're going to talk about Tales of Arise at the end of the podcast, but there was some mobile news. I know how much you guys love those things. The people, when I share these things on YouTube, people do not care for them, but they're a part of life, and some of them are kind of interesting. Konami has opened up pre-registrations for Eden Zero Pocket Galaxy. This was announced back in September of 2020. It's a top-down action RPG for iOS and Android, based off the anime. This is the guy who did Fairy Tail, so you'll recognize the character designs. There's supposed to be a console game coming out as well. This is the first I've actually heard about either one of them since September of 2020. But you can actually check that out right now and sign up for these things. Pre-registration is available right now if you've been looking forward to it, and I'll have some more information to share about it soon, I'm sure. Dragon Quest Adventure of Dai, A Hero's Bonds will launch on September the 28th. You can pre-download those right now on iOS via the App Store or Android via the Google Play Store. Publisher Square Enix and developer DENA announced. There was a little launch trailer that went along with that. Here are some of the key features of the game. You can push forward with your allies in dynamic 3-lane battles. Unleash powerful attacks to devastate your foes and advance. Utilizing your break power at the right moment is the key to victory. Show what you're made of by unleashing powerful special moves like Even Strash, Bloody Beast King Redemption Blast, and Kafriz. For more streamlined experience, try playing the battles in auto mode. Well, it wouldn't be a mobile game without auto mode. If you'd like to check that trailer out, head over to our YouTube channel. I don't know what to make about this game. I'll at least give it credit that it doesn't look like your standard mobile title. I don't see a price on it, so I'm assuming that it's going to be, paid, gotcha elements to it. That's how these games kind of make money, but I don't know for certain or not. And lastly, this is apparently a pretty popular anime. You guys kind of know I'm not huge into anime, so I don't know a lot of these. But there's a new game coming out for iOS and Android based on the anime That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Isekai Memories. It's coming to the West sometime this year. This is coming from our friends over at Bandai Namco. Pre-registration is available right now. It is a nation-building 3D battle RPG. It was first announced back in March in Japan. There is also planned release in Korean and traditional Chinese. Some of the key features: relive famous moments from Season 1 of the anime in fully voiced cutscenes. The star-studded vocal cast to lend their talents to the battle voices and interactions in town as well. Use the nation-building system to create your ideal version of Tempest. 3D command-based battle system. The controls are simple. Just select the cards for your hand, but there's deep strategic gameplay to enjoy as you learn to effectively use abilities drawn from the original work. The Predator and Great Sage systems bring you deeper into the Tensura world. And opening animated and theme song will be Phantom Lights. So there you go. You can check out. I made a video that had the opening trailer. There was also a message from the producer, as well as the opening animation. Those are all kind of thrown in all together and over there on our YouTube channel. So if you don't really care about that stuff, I'm sorry. Just pass that along. Pass along the news for you guys. This was over on Twitter. A person who goes from the @DragonQ name, Austin King, shared that Square Enix is going to be holding a holdings call. And they say the focus is going to be on FF7 Remake and Dragon Quest 12. They say both projects are hiring more people and in development on a large scale. These are usually like those financial type meetings. They're like, okay, here's where we are expecting this game to come out so we can forecast sales for it. This is really important with these bigger titled games as they bring in more money. Obviously, they cost more to produce as well. So, companies do this with a lot of different things, and it can at least give us a window into what they're thinking. If I'm going to put money down, I'm going to say Remake Part 2 comes out first, considering how we just found out about Dragon Quest 12, and you'd have to assume that they're further along the lines with Part 2. We probably won't hear a whole lot about either one at Tokyo Game Show, but we can keep our fingers crossed that something will pop up about those two things. Speaking of future things that may or may that will happen, I just thought this was interesting that Atlas has an online job interview that will place candidates on one of 3 teams. You can probably pick which one 2 of those would be. They would be placed into the Shin Megami Tensei team. The Persona team would be another one. So the Shin Megami Tensei team would also work on Devil Survivor and Etrian Odyssey. Currently, they're working on SMT V. The second team is dedicated to Persona, along the mainline RPG series, and of course those Dancing Rhythm spin-offs. The third production team is Studio Zero, established more recently to work on the orthodox fantasy RPG known as Project Free Fantasy. I still have such high hopes for that title, and I really think that's next. And I really, really hope that we learn about it at Tokyo Game Show, which is coming up in less than a month at the beginning of October. What is your favorite cookie? What is the greatest cookie of all time? I'll go ahead and I'll tell you that. The answer is Oreo. There is no second place. It is all about the Oreo and its various things, especially when you mix it with ice cream and Oreo blasts and all that cookies and cream, all that. It's Oreo. That's the answer. Thank you for playing. Oreo is doing a special Pokemon crossover, so they're going to be showing up, and you can catch all the Oreos and gain 100 pounds and be happy. They will be in stores on September 13th, so just a few more days. There are a total of 16 of them. Yeah, so they kind of got the all the characters on there, and the Oreos themselves are going to have the Pokemon on it, and I guess there will be various degrees of more rare. They say Mew will be the rarest design. All the usual characters are in there: Pikachus and Charmanders and Jigglypuffs and Squirtle, all the old school guys. There was even a really fun commercial that came out with that. But there you go. So if you are a Pokemon fanatic, and if you love Oreos as much as I do, you can combine those two loves into one delicious, fun thing. I mentioned today was going to be a short one, and it's certainly shaping up to be that way. There was a 5-minute overview trailer for Tales of Arise called Forge Your Path. If you are watching the video version of this podcast, you are seeing it right now. I actually did not post this on the YouTube channel, as I just kind of felt like we're done. Like, normally I would post like a launch trailer for a lot of these type games, and well, maybe that's coming at some point as well. But you really got to think that at this point in the game, and from a marketing standpoint, putting out another trailer is not going to convince one single person to either buy or not buy this game. I feel like it's complete overkill at this point. The demo is out for people to experience it if they are really uncertain if they want to play it or not. It just did not make a whole lot of sense to me. So I was like, well, I think people are kind of done. Let's not put that out there just yeah. But yeah, you can kind of see that as it's going along. There you go. The review from our friends over at Siliconia. Let's just read a little bit of this thing. I don't want to give away too much. I don't think they do either. They just say Tales of Arise is treading new ground in all sorts of ways. It's the first entry in the series in 5 years. It's starting a new world story in a new world, following installments that had sequels and successors. We're also getting it right as a new console generation is finding its footing. Fortunately, Tales of Arise handles all new challenges as they come, resulting in an entry that builds on concepts that came before, reviews their lessons, and often feels remarkable. I don't want to, let's just say, in short, Tales of Arise feels satisfying. It's gorgeous to look at, and the battles are fun to experience, especially since you do sometimes get that aha moment when the right sort of boost attack or strike comes up. The story may hit some familiar sorts of JRPG notes, but that doesn't make it any less enjoyable. I'm greatly looking forward to getting to experience this game. My schedule's kind of really weird right now, so normally when these games come out, I do live stream them to our YouTube channel. That's just not going to be possible, at least Friday and Saturday night, as I'm not getting home until about 11 o'clock at night, and I'm done. I'm completely done. So we may actually stream a little bit Friday afternoon and Saturday morning, depending on what the kid does. But I don't know. Like, I haven't streamed in a while, and I'm not certain how that's going to work going forward. But in case you are someone who likes to enjoy our live streams, just look for the notification. That's really all I can tell you. It might be at kind of odd times. But I hope you guys are looking forward to it as well. I'll give my initial thoughts next week on the podcast. Looking forward to the game we've been waiting a while for, that's for certain. Don't forget to follow us on our social media channels. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter for all the stories that we talk about each and every week. Subscribe on YouTube, and please consider financial support for this podcast to keep things rolling right along. That's going to do it for this one. We knew it would be short. That's just the way it is sometimes. There's not a whole lot to chat about. My name is James Fisher. That'll do it for episode 182. We'll see you guys back here again next week, next Thursday, for an all-new podcast. But until then, get back out there and level up.